two, one. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Delusions of Grandeur, where we are doing some fantastic film discussions here as we continue with another choice from Tammy, which is, Tammy, what movie are we going to be going on about?
What? Oh, Stranger Tides.
Yep. Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides, which was filmed in 2000, directed by Rob Marshall. And it does star Johnny Depp. And I do believe it does, let's see, on Stranger Tides. Let's see. It does star Geoff Rush as Barboso again. It stars Penelope Cruz as Angelica. Ian McShane of Deadwood notoriety as Blackbeard. Kevin McNally plays Mr. Gibbs again. Sam Claflin plays Philip. Astrid Burgess Frisbee plays Serena. Very lovely Serena. Stephen Graham.
Oh, yeah.
Keith Richards plays Captain Teague. Richard Griffiths plays King George. Greg Ellis plays Groves. And so on and so forth. We even have Judi Dench showing up as one of the society ladies. So, ex James Bond Q or whatever, or Mrs. Q, or not Mrs. Q. Yeah, James Bond. Anyways, so let's see what IMDb says about the film, and then I'll let Tammy bring us into first impressions. Jack Sparrow and Barboso embark on a quest to find the elusive Fountain of Youth, only to discover that Blackbeard and his daughter are after it too. So, first impressions.
That was kind of short and sweet.
Yeah, that was short and sweet. First, I guess, going into first impressions. Tammy, bring us around.
Oh, like the three before it, I enjoyed it. Yes, the story. I guess the storyline was a little bit different since this one was basically you didn't have all the same players in it. You only had like three of the normal players. You know, you had Jack, Gibbs, and Barbosa. You know, so you didn't have everybody in this one. So that made it a little bit different, and it was kind of like one main goal type of thing. But I mean, I still found it fun, and I found it enjoyable, interesting. As we get into it, the different things that were brought into this one too. You know, that were not brought into other movies. So, but yeah, definitely liked it. So we'll discuss more of the uniquely different things in this one as we get into it.
Yep. Well, Did everyone bring their cream puffs? Oh, you didn't get the memo? Well, Jack, Jack definitely fought for a cream puff in the very beginning of this movie. Why don't you tell us, Tammy, which one of us wants to go first? Ron?
Well, for first impressions, Kroll.
What? Huh? Who? What?
What were your
Your
thoughts on Stranger Tides?
It was Stranger. I really loved how they had the mermaids in it, and the mermaids were I don't know, they seemed like vampires, but I love how the girl was saying that he wasn't the girl married was talking to the preacher kid that that she wasn't attacking him, she was pushing him out of the way, and he was saying he was different. He's a protector. So it seems like maybe it's just that mermaid, but maybe the mermaids weren't like bad. They were attacking what they thought was bad people. So they weren't evil mermaid. You know what I'm saying? Like they weren't the evil mermaids just attacking men. They were mermaids attacking people that attack others. You know what I'm saying? That maybe again, maybe it was just that particular mermaid, or maybe it speaks for all the mermaids. So it kind of makes you think about it. Like maybe the mermaids aren't the so-called bad guys, or quotation marks. Just kind of that's why I think of it. It's definitely a different picture because most movies that have mermaids in them, not usually the bad guy. I mean,
Malevolent.
some of them are per se, but usually a few of them aren't. And just in this one, they kind of made them like sirens. Where the sirens are usually bad, luring men into their deaths and stuff. Only this time it was the mermaids. But I loved how they kept the story of she got her legs back after she got out of the water and everything, and obviously it was the first time, or not back, but got legs. It was the first time she ever had legs because she didn't know how to walk.
I know
So
what you're saying about the mermaids. Usually, they're portrayed as not getting nasty unless they're defending themselves.
yeah, and they used like weapons, but these had like the teeth. Their teeth was kind of like vampire teeth, and it was just really really, really cool. I mean, you see the first guy that was like, I'm gonna kiss the mermaid no matter what. You kind of think, oh, well, what did he do? But you gotta remember, he's a pirate, so he's probably done some stuff. You may not have seen it, but he's probably done some stuff. So another point that brings me to my theory of that these mermaids are like they're kind of like Aquaman that defends, like the sea and people in the sea and everything, and yeah, he'll help people, but if people are hurting the sea or whatever or anything, like he'll go after them. Like, that's how it portrayed. That's how it seemed to me. So it's kind of a different perspective that the mermaids weren't necessarily the bad guys. They were just protecting the sea. you know but yeah, so that's my first impression on. It's not the first time I saw it. I did see. I went and binged all the movies together before. Um, I had seen like one and two, and then I hadn't seen any for a long time. And then I was like, let me get caught up on them. But I don't remember seeing the next movie that we'll probably be doing for another 4 weeks. But I'm looking forward to seeing that because I don't think I've seen it.
Okay.
And on other news, I just got to say this. I'm actually going to go and finally watch Star Wars: The Acolyte because I just said fuck it, and I got Disney Plus to watch the movies. I could have found them, but I was rushed for time, and I was just like fuck it, I'll get Disney Plus, and it gives me an excuse to watch the show, which I'm kind of wanting to watch, but I just haven't watched TV in a year, so just had to put that out there.
Ready?
Yo ho ho ho. Yeah, that song is still stuck on my freaking head. It's catchy, man. It's very catchy.
It is.
I mean, all the pirate songs are cool, like in all the Disney movies and stuff. That one, I don't know, for some reason that one's just super freaking catchy. Like it just, really really catchy.
Ready. Heading over to you, Boris.
Well, this movie was good, although I would like to say it can really be sensed that it was made by a different director. It's in many aspects very different from the first three movies. First of all, as we have already mentioned, a major part of the main cast is missing here, like Elizabeth Swann, Will Turner, and so on. Uh,
Yep.
Also, I think okay, now this is a little bit commenting on the previous movie too, but at the end of the third movie, I thought it was a rather strange decision to kill off the main villains of the franchise that far, like Cutler Beckett and Davy Jones, which kind of implies the story was supposed to end there, but then at the end they introduce the whole talk about the Fountain of Youth, which implies the story is not over after all, even though they
Well,
had.
just to put it in there, maybe it's just the end of Will Turner and Davy Jones and that story, but we're still following Jack Sparrow because I mean, I hate how they kind of made turned Will into like a new captain, and he got married to Elizabeth, which we all expected they were going to get married in someday, and they couldn't even be together, and they didn't even have the one night together, and it's just and then we don't even know what happened to her. Like she was just off on an island by herself, um, So it's just kind of leaves it wide open, like what the hell happened to her and stuff, So I mean, maybe that trilogy was the end of their story, and we won't hear anymore. But I hope we do because I really like those characters. But that's just my take on it. Is that
Well, I
'cause
think they appear in the fifth movie from what I googled.
I did not Google anything because I didn't want to spoil it. So thanks for
Uh,
spoiling it.
Sorry, but I thought you had already seen the fifth movie.
I just said
No, he
a little bit
mentioned that
ago
he
I
hadn't
had
seen it
not
yet.
seen it yet, and I was looking forward to seeing it. You weren't listening.
Oh, oh, I'm sorry. Uh, okay. What else was I going to say? Also, this movie introduces some new things that you can really sense that the script writers of the first three movies didn't have on their minds, like the introduction of Angelica as a woman from Jack's past. That's clearly something the first three movies. When the first three movies were being made, no one had any idea of this character, and you can really feel that. Also, I feel like making the whole Christian religion thing a part of this story. It feels a bit out of place, but
Not
okay.
really.
I am not a Christian at all, but I didn't really feel out of place to me.
The Crusades were happening during this time, so it
Let's
very
not
much.
let's not talk about those.
Ah, uh, okay then I guess. But I do like the introduction of mermaids. That even though that's also a new thing that we didn't have in the previous movies, but it's something very much related to the sea mythology, and therefore it really goes well with the franchise. So that's
It,
an
it
addition
makes me
I
want to
did
watch
enjoy.
Splash. It makes me
Sorry,
want to
what?
watch Splash. It makes me want to watch Splash.
Ah.
Have you seen
Yeah.
it, Doris?
I
You
don't
seen
think so.
Oh, 1984, Daryl Hannah. I think it was 84. Daryl Hannah played a mermaid. Tom Hanks and oh, what's
Eugene
his
Levy?
name? What?
Early Eugene Levy.
Yeah, but I was thinking of his brother, Uncle Buck.
Ooh.
Freaking what's his name? God damn it!
John Candy.
Yeah, John Candy.
John
John
Candy.
Candy played Tom Hanks' older brother, and yeah, good, great freaking cast, huge cast, huge cast. Eugene Levy plays kind of a bad guy in the beginning, but he kind of turns around. Yeah, I might choose that movie next. Who knows? It's kind of haven't seen it in a long time.
I don't think we've
Ooh.
done it for this show, so if somebody chose it, we can definitely do it.
I didn't think you've done it because it's it's
We
kind
did
of
it on the original channel.
really, really.
Yep.
Who brought it up?
Believe.
Brendan?
It's been so long. It's been a while, but I think we were doing a whole slew of mermaid movies. So it was done during that period where we were doing a theme of mermaids. I think that we did that one. We did The Lure, which was a different film. I believe it was a Czechoslovakian movie that was done in subtitles, but it was done really well.
Ooh.
That's for people that like subtitles. Me and Tammy would probably disagree.
But in any case, so Boris, did you finish your first impressions on this?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, what about you, Tammy?
I already did mine
Oh, you did?
first.
Okay. Alrighty. Well,
You did yours in the first movie. Did you do it for the second? Because I don't remember you saying it.
Yeah, I did. I went and did mine first.
okay. If you say so.
I
But
did mine first, and I didn't bring up the mermaids because I said that was something we'll discuss the different things in this movie later. And then Kroll went next and brought up the mermaids. How
well,
do you remember that I went?
I myself,
Well, to be fair, I missed you talking
I
about
believe Tammy and I both saw this one in the theater.
I never saw anyone in the theaters.
It was this one and the following one that we saw in the theater together. Because
Yeah, I
by
thought
that
this was the
time,
last movie. I didn't realize this one existed.
nope, this was not the last movie. Dead Men Tell No Tales.
Well, I know that now. I'm just saying I did not realize it.
But I as well enjoy the different things that they get into to, and I thought that the humor between Barboso and Jack is hilarious. I mean, the fact that Jack fights King George for a cream puff, that is hilarious. And to be honest, you were starting to talk about the mermaids, and you thought that they were more like sirens. Well, to be fair, sirens and mermaids are one and the same. They just kind of got talked about differently. But if you look
Wait, did you just say
backwards,
pirates and mermaids are the same?
mermaids,
Sirens.
sirens are the same creature.
No, they're not.
They yes.
No, they're not.
I think in the Greek mythology, I think sirens are kind of different.
They're
I think
completely different. Sirens sing to lure their victims to go. Usually, their ships smash into rocks and things like that. They don't necessarily attack them themselves, but they usually lure their victims by their song. And men cannot.
And they were often
Men cannot.
and they were often from the sea. And if you look at the stories,
They are not anything
it's
alike.
blurred
I
into
know a
two
lot about
separate
Greek mythology, and they are
of
nothing
creatures.
alike.
I think sirens in the Greek mythology are more like bird women than fish women.
Yeah, and the Greeks weren't the first ones to talk about sirens or mermaids, neither. So
Okay, but sirens and mermaids are not the same people, same animal, same creature, whatever you want to call it.
do your research.
Not at all. Well, you need to do some more research.
It's just like the same thing as Yetis, or the same thing as Bigfoots. It's just
No, they're
people.
not.
Yeah.
Again, wrong.
See, I'm not wrong.
You are
Anyways,
wrong. You
no,
read
I'm
the
not.
wrong stuff.
No,
Yes,
I
you
don't.
are.
They're the same darn thing.
No, they're not.
See, people have separated these creatures
Because they
by
are separate.
a mile. No, they're not. They all come
Yeah,
from
and
the
they're the
same.
same as the Bono snowman, too. They just got snow on them.
See, on this point, I know that I'm right, but I'm not going to argue.
You can believe you're right. I know you will.
I know I'm right.
Yet I know you're not.
Okay, believe what you want.
I will. I'll believe the truth.
No,
And you can believe the fake news.
I don't believe any fakeness. But
Yes, you do.
we-
You just
No,
said
I
you
don't.
did. You just
No,
said you did.
I said I believe. I know. I know what I know what I know.
You know the fake news.
You can't back yours
Yes, I can.
with
You
proof.
can't back yours because it's not the truth.
I can prove that all of the I can, if I wanted to prove that.
Oh, I
that
can if I wanted
Yetis,
to.
Yetis are the same as
I'm in the
Bigfoot.
6th grade.
I remember when I was a kid, I played some quiz PC game, and there was a question: what are sirens? And some of the possible answers were fish women and bird women, and I answered fish women and it was incorrect. The correct answer was bird women.
I disagree with that being bird women too, but I mean, yeah, they're like they're I don't know they're definitely mythical creatures, but they're completely different than mermaids. And the only similarity is they're both found in their water. You know, like water. Other than that,
The
Ooh,
original stories of sirens were actually of creatures that were in the sea.
okay,
And then
that doesn't mean they're mermaids. Sharks are in the sea. Does that mean sharks and mermaids are the same things? And whales and goldfish and octopus. There's billions of things in the sea, man. There's things in the sea we haven't even discovered yet.
but anyways, let us continue.
yeah.
I'm gonna know my information is right, and you're gonna know your information is well. You're gonna
It's
think yours
100%
is
right because I've been studying this shit all my life.
okay.
So you
Well,
can
you
read
can
your
prove
fake news and tell
siren
me your
is
fake
not
news and
a mermaid. But anyways,
Squabbly,
let us
yeah.
squabbly.
go forward with this.
And Tiamat was really a sea serpent.
Okay, so where are we as far as the movie goes?
I don't know. Which one went up.
Did everybody do their first impressions now?
Yeah, you went
Oh, I did.
over.
I hadn't finished, but that's okay. We can go forward.
Okay. So yes, we start off with um yes, they think that they've captured Jack Sparrow and he's on trial, only Jack is the one playing the judge. And
Uh,
and Gibbs is the one that they're calling Jack Sparrow. And when
that
Jack
was
and
a
Gibbs get together, Gibbs is telling him that I heard you're in town getting the ship and a crew. And he's like, that's what everybody's telling me. He goes, but I'm not here to get a ship and a crew. And Gibbs is,
Although I do need a ship and a crew.
yeah, but and he's like, but you are. And he's like, no, I'm not. And um,
I ain't here to rescue you.
then he gets arrested and Riches. Yes, that is a very funny chain of sequences about yes, he goes through everything he can to get that stupid cream puff.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. He was really hungry. And he
Yeah,
really wanted the cream puff.
it's when he finally gets it at the end, he grabs it off the thing and he's like, and he goes, "Hey, got it," and he takes this big old bite and takes off. But yeah, and so after he escapes again, he goes to the bar and finds out that yeah, there's a crew being put together by Jack Sparrow, and he even tries to tell this guy that he's Jack Sparrow.
No.
And
He says who? He says, you know who I am? And the guy laughs, goes, hey, this guy doesn't know who he is.
and then he gets called out to the fight, which he's like, I'm fighting myself.
Yeah, he ends up. Well, he sees where he's supposed to be at, and he ends up going in there and having a sword fight with himself. Of course, it's obviously not him, but yeah.
How did he say he goes? You're here. I'm here because I'm here to take myself back, or something.
Yeah, I know. I've been stolen. You've stolen me, and I'm here to recover myself.
One
That was
interesting
a great line.
One interesting thing, even before the identity of the fake Jack was revealed, I somehow, during the sword fight, I don't remember how exactly, but somehow I could tell that person was a woman.
Yeah, I did too, but maybe it was because I remembered. I don't know because I know I'd seen it before, but yeah, I don't know.
Well, it's cool how he figures out who it is because he said there was only one other person that knew that particular move he did.
Yeah.
And that's what gives it away.
Well, at first I was thinking it was Elizabeth because I forgot she wasn't in this movie.
I expected it to be her as well.
I thought it might have been at first, but the technique was different. It was
Yeah,
more like Jack's technique.
but what I'm saying, even before anything was given away, I somehow figured out that was a female person.
Well, like I said, I knew it was definitely female too.
I wasn't sure if it was a female or not, but
I mean,
whoever it
yeah, it
was,
looked. They definitely
it
were
was.
having her mirror him, but you could definitely tell it was a female form.
But it was definitely the technique was like it was Jack's technique. It was obvious.
I absolutely didn't realize that.
So
I guess I haven't paid that much attention to the technique.
Yeah.
oh, I just I get a kick out of how he fights. So
Hey, kudos to you. I didn't realize that. I didn't pick up on that. So kudos to you for doing so.
So, but yeah. So how did you guys like the fight though between him and?
Oh, it was great. It was a great fight. I really liked
Yeah.
it. They definitely had some chemistry together too. You know, you could tell. It was like they looked like they wanted to tear each other's clothes off. You know, 1 second and kill each other next. You know, really, really great chemistry between the two actor and actress.
True.
So, yep, and then, well, this whole thing was a setup though because she wanted to get Jack,
Yeah, she wanted to get Jack. She needed him.
and he
She knew
wakes
if she
up on,
pretended to be him, he'd eventually show up.
yep, and then he eventually wakes up on Blackbeard's ship. So,
Who
what'd
turns
you
out to
think
be
of?
her father.
What did you think of that ship? I thought that ship looked wicked. It's what was it? Queen Anne's Revenge.
Yeah, I like the ship, but it's no Black Pearl.
True.
It was I felt like that was another character missing in the movie, the Black Pearl. You know, and the fact that they said they killed it, but then
It is. It's just Blackbeard
It's in
yeah,
a
has
it's
it
in
little
in
his,
a
in
bottle.
his,
bottle.
it's in his bar in the bottle, but you know, it's like if you shrunk the Millennium Falcon and threw it in a bottle. You know, it's not the same thing.
But I thought the ship itself
I
was
actually
wicked
liked
looking.
the look of it. I liked the look of Queen Anne's Revenge. It was red and maroon,
Yeah, it was a nice
and
ship.
I
I
liked
mean,
what Blackbeard's sword could do.
Yeah, it made
I
him
like
into
I
like
like
a,
how Blackbeard used voodoo.
yeah. That's so. It was just something with the sword that gave him like some power. So, and I
It was,
didn't totally realize it was the sword until later that it was actually the sword that had the power.
oh, is it?
So,
Full disclosure, I did not get to see the rest of this movie. I was trying to watch it while we were doing the first part. I woke up. I was gonna get up at 8 to watch both movies, and I didn't get up to like 9:30. And yeah, I was watching the first one. I'm like, I was enjoying it, but I kept looking at the clock, going, "Is this ever gonna end? I need to watch the second one."
Oh, now you got a taste of your own medicine, Kroll.
How is it my medicine? I ain't choose these movies.
Yeah, but I mean, you tend to pick longer movies or double features and stuff, and this time we got
To
a
be
double
fair,
feature of two long movies.
every time I picked a double feature is because somebody, Dave, said, let's do this first one first or something because I wanted the
uh,
second one, or let's do
oh,
the second one too. So,
Well, because
yeah.
I
okay,
like to do things. I
that's
like
a
to do
valid
things in
point.
order, and maybe you tend to like to start in the middle of a story, but I tend to like to start where it began.
George Lucas started in the middle of the story. If it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me.
And I don't want to see the middle of the fucking story. I want to see where it began, where it has a
Well,
middle,
I
and
don't.
where it has an end.
I do not like watching 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I watch 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
I see what you did there.
Well, I said if it's good enough for George Lucas, it's good enough for me.
so anyways, they end up they're setting out on a quest. Now Barbosa's setting out on the quest also to go um find this fountain of youth, and the Spaniards are on the quest to find the fountain of youth, and so was Blackbeard's gang is on the quest. So um the thing is, one of the things they need to have a tear from a mermaid in order to finalize this. Once they
Mm-hmm.
to finalize the ritual, so that's where they go to. What island, David? You mentioned it in the last one, and you were wrong.
I
The
forgot the name of the island.
Oh, the white clam, white surf, white, white clam bay.
Something to
Was it?
that, something to that effect. Yes, but that's where they were going. They have to go there because that's where the mermaids are.
Well, also the Spanish, who the Spanish conquistadors found out about the Fountain of Youth.
Right, I already said that. I said the Spaniards are going there, Barbosa is going there, and Blackbeard is going there. Barbosa
Yep.
is
Spanish going there, and the English going there, and
And
Barbosa's this
Johnny Depp
Blackbeard's going
seems
there
to think that
because
Penelope
Blackbeard is
Cruz's character spun Blackbeard a lie about being his daughter.
Blackbeard is going there because there was a foretelling of his death that he will be
by
killed
one-legged
by,
man. Anybody else yell Barbosa?
Uh-huh.
and Barbosa is going there because he knows that he is going there, and he is going there to kill him
Why does he want to kill Blackbeard?
because
He wants to
Black
kill Blackbeard because he took his leg.
Oh, Blackbeard's the one
and he took the pearl.
so he's the one that
Yep, and he
sunk
took the pearl.
he's the one that sunk the Black Pearl and took his leg. Okay. I haven't gotten that far yet.
And the
And
Spaniards are going there. Well, we
because
find
they
out.
want the Fountain of Youth.
Well, we find out in the end that they don't want it, but
Yeah, it turns out that the Spanish actually want to destroy it because it has everything to do with going against their religion, and they don't want the Catholic Church to realize that. It would change a lot
Wait.
of beliefs.
Spanish always are Catholic too. So what the hell are they talking about?
Huh?
I said they're all fucking Catholic.
right. But this yeah, everybody's got their own agenda about why they're going there. So anyways, their first agenda is to go capture a mermaid so they can get her to cry.
Oh,
They just needed tears of a mermaid. It's not that mean.
Yeah, but they go and build a case and everything to capture one and all that stuff. So
Yep, and they stick a bunch of the pirate guys out in boats and force them to sing.
they
Uh,
stuck
so,
the they stuck the ones out there that started a mutiny.
uh-huh.
That was their punishment.
Well, to be fair, the minister kid didn't start it, but he just didn't like him.
Right. Everybody else was part of the mutiny that
Except,
was on that
except
boat.
Jack, but they needed Jack, so.
Yeah, they needed Jack.
I love how Gibbs made himself be needed by burning the map and said, now everything's in my head.
Yeah,
oh,
that's how Gibbs gets to come along with Barbosa.
Well, he knew other than that he might get killed, so. Smart
Yeah, they
thinking.
needed Jack because Jack was supposed to be able to lead them to the Ponce de Leon ship.
Yep.
Which that's where
And
the chalices are that they need.
yep. And when they finally open up the chest, they realize the chalices are gone. But there is a moment where they have to balance the ship, and that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. I like it when they end up in bed with the fucking with Ponce de Leon's corpse, and
And it looks at him.
and he starts to pull up on the map, and then the head turns, and Barbosa looks at him and he goes, "Don't touch the map! Don't touch the map!" And he puts the map back down, and the head turns back again.
And
Yeah,
of
I haven't
course,
gotten to that part yet.
when they go after the Spanish for the chalices, and they've been discovered, and they're sitting there tied, and he takes his leg off, and he's like,
We jumped way
what's
far
that?
ahead. We
Something
didn't
even
even
better.
talk about
I
them
want one
getting
of
the
those.
mermaid. We barely talked about what they went through to get the mermaid. We go,
Yeah, I know. He went to the part where I'd been to, all of a sudden skipped over to where way past where I was at.
so yes, the mermaids go all attack, and the one mermaid is protecting the preacher dude, and then they end up catching her because she was protecting him. So now they've got their mermaid.
Well, to be fair, the Christian guy, he stabbed her in her fishtail, and that's how they
Well,
captured her.
he did think that she was attacking him. It did look like she was attacking him. It wasn't until later
Yeah.
that we found out that she was protecting him.
So how do you think of before Jack finds the ship, and he says he has to jump off the cliff, and they throw that little voodoo doll.
And he's like,
oh,
ah!
oh yeah.
Yeah, and then they have the scene where he picks the gun and shoots her, and it doesn't go off. And then I love afterwards. She's like, you knew which one was loaded, right? And he's like, you could tell that he didn't know and he didn't care, and it was like, wow, what a bastard,
Yeah. Right.
But yeah,
It's
despite
still
how
funny.
it's funny how Jack's a pirate, a captain, yet he's always saving the damsel in distress. He always cares about other people, even Will, who he always claims like he doesn't like, but he's always helping other people. He's always going on his way to help people, even though he always, he always, yes, he ends up betraying them, but then he ends up helping them anyways. So yeah, he's always out for himself, but he always helps everyone else too. So he's such an interesting character.
This
Oh,
does sound really weird. How does anybody know how Ponce de Leon's ship got where it was?
I don't know much about that
Well,
story.
the Ponce de Leon, he was on his way to find the Fountain of Youth, but he never found it. There was some treasure that was on that ship that was, I feel like it was part of the treasure that was surrounding the. I feel like Ponce de Leon actually did find the Fountain of Youth, but he stole the treasure and it had a curse.
So
You know what I'm saying?
how did the ship end up on that cliff?
Shipwrecked, I believe.
And then what? The water receded down that far?
Maybe possible.
I'm looking up the original story of Ponce de Leon.
oh,
He
so
was a
that
Spanish
story.
explorer.
Yes, that story's real.
He was a Spanish explorer and conquistador, known for leading the first official European expedition to Puerto Rico in 1508 and in Florida in 1513. The little is known about his family. He was of noble birth and served in the Spanish military from a very young age. And he first came to the Americas as a gentleman volunteer with Christopher Columbus's second expedition in 1493. I'm looking at okay, legacy and honors.
Well, I thought something mentioned in the movie about that Ponce de Leon had sailed 200 years before them looking for him. So if that's what's going on, that this is 200 years after Ponce de Leon, so then maybe that is what happened. Maybe the ship did run aground, and the water really was there at that time. And then
Juan Ponce
after 200
de Leon.
years, the water receded. You know, maybe that's how it ended up there.
Ponce de Leon was mostly associated with the Fountain of Youth, a legendary spring that was said to grant eternal life. While the fabled fountain was reputed to be in Florida from a route shown on navigational charts, Ponce de Leon discovered the fountain on an uncharted island. He captained the Santiago during his search for the fountain until his death. Let's see. Going to look at his death. Let's see. But anyways, let's see, where is the death? Okay, I guess continue.
Anyways, yeah, like I was saying, that I remember them saying something in the movie about that. So if that, I guess that would make sense about how it ended up where it is. If this is 200 years later, right?
Yeah.
So, and yeah, when they do get on the ship, there is lots of treasure all over the ship. You know, because right away it's kind of like, he's looking, Jack is looking at it all, and all of a sudden Barbossa says, "You're not here for that." Because Barbossa was already there. So what do you guys think about how after they both end up on Ponce de Leon's ship, they kind of join forces? I mean, Jack
I
and
mean,
Barbossa aren't really known for joining forces very much.
no, they don't. In fact, they fight for captainship on one of these movies.
They fight for captainship on every movie.
I'm the captain. No, I'm the captain. Shut your mouth. Shut your face.
Every single movie ends up having the Black Pearl in it, except for this one.
The captain is
and they're
talking.
fighting.
Yes, the captain is talking.
They're constantly fighting over who is in charge of the Black Pearl on every movie.
Well, yeah, after Jack Sparrow lost the Black Pearl to Barbossa because of mutiny,
Right, they go back and forth with getting this ship.
Yep.
So, but then now we're gonna get to where you were talking.
I like how he shimmies up the palm tree, and the Spanish are like, "The prisoner is escaping."
I know that that whole thing until he get caught, how they work together was really cool. And then, like you said, when he took off his fake leg, and they're sitting there drinking out of it,
And well, before he even drinks out of it, he's like, "I want one of those."
But that's when Jack finds out what Barbossa's agenda is in this whole thing, because he didn't know what Barbossa's agenda was as to why he was going to the Fountain of Youth, But now he knows why he wants it.
He wants
so the only one that wants the Fountain of Youth for a Fountain of Youth is actually Blackbeard and his daughter.
Yep.
Well, Dog just wants it for her father, but
right. But nobody else is there. Nobody else is going for it for that reason.
Oh, true.
It's Jack who figures out putting the two words together from the chalice that opened up the Fountain Youth area to begin with.
Now, what did you think about that? With that effect about that the water was going up? and then he got pulled up through the water, and because the water was going up instead of the other way. That was kind of neat.
Yeah, that was.
Indeed.
Okay.
I thought that the water going upwards was pretty cool effect. And then, of course, he got once he got sucked up there, because that's what it seemed like it did. It sucked him up into the darn thing, you know.
Yep.
And then, of course, everyone else showed up, and that's when I think there was a little bit of a fight for the tier. And then
Well,
Barbosa
yeah.
was
Well,
already
they're doing
there.
that. That's when Barbosa and Blackbeard get into their fight.
Yep. And then Sparrow was like right before they fought or anything. Right before they fought was like, hey, wait a minute. So you're going to tell me that you're fighting him for this reason and this reason? Can't we just all sit back and drink and talk about this a little bit? And they're like, for what reason?
And then he's like, well, then yeah, he's like, well, if he wants to fight him and he wants to fight, just let them fight, you know. And then while that's all going on, then all of a sudden the Spaniards show up, and they kind of screw it all up. Because they destroy it.
Oh, indeed. There are some spoodaus there.
But yeah, well well, Blackbeard is laying there dying, and so is she's laying there too because of the poison on Barbosa's sword. Okay, and she got cut with the sword too. You know, I think Jack, I think he switched the chalices on purpose because he knew that Blackbeard only cared about himself. So,
Oh,
and I think he switched them on purpose because when he told him which chalice had what, he took the one that he thought was the one that was going to give him life, and then that meant that she would die.
yeah, and Blackbeard wasn't objecting to it.
And she was mad at Jack, and it's like it didn't seem like she caught on that he was going to let you die. Your father was going to let you die if Jack
Indeed.
wouldn't have switched it, you know.
Yeah, good point.
And Jack acted like he didn't do that, like he acted like dumb, but you know that he did it on purpose.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, of course, the Spanish got involved, started destroying the place in the name of
We're already past that.
Yeah.
Yes. the chalice because we were at the chalices, them drinking it. So we're past that.
Okay.
So the Spanish are already gone.
Yep. So, of course,
Then Jack maroons her on the island, and him and Gibbs walk into the sunset because Gibbs has got the black pearl in the glass, and I think he said he's got all the rest of them in that bag too.
yep, because he's got a whole fleet now.
Yep. And that's basically about where that's it.
She tries to argue her way back into Jack's good graces, and but he still leaves her in the end.
Yep. She even fires her one shot and misses.
And I believe that's the same island that he was marooned on when he
the
was.
same island he's always marooned on. Yes.
Yep. Same island. Although I'm not sure whether there was any.
I don't think there's any more
rum.
rum.
But why the rum?
Okay, so I guess we're to the end.
I just wanted to say one thing about that. Like, I don't know if you guys looked when Black Death first showed up. He was drinking some rum, and then he smashed the bottle. And the way Jack looked at the smashed bottle, look at that rum just being wasted. You know, I don't know if you guys caught that.
I think so. Jack is always upset when somebody wastes rum.
Exactly. It's what I thought was funny how they it was just a little subtle thing that they put in the movie that some people might not have noticed, but I did.
It makes sense when it's something he likes so much.
Yes, he loves his rum. That's why I love the second movie when he has a bottle of rum. He hides it from Elizabeth because of what she did in the first movie.
Yeah, I remember that there was the comment about when she was coming on the ship. He found out she was coming. He goes, hide the rum.
Hide the rum.
All right. Well, I guess any other comments before we get into production and all that good junk?
Well, not sure. I'm really sorry I wasn't very active in these discussions today. Like I said at the beginning, I was very much struggling to focus on the movies because of the sleep deprivation, because some stuff has been going on these days.
Okay. Well, hey, I know what it's like about sleep. I still have to get some. So.
Yeah, then you understand me, hopefully.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm working the 3rd tonight, so I don't go until 11 o'clock our time, but I still need to get some sleep before I go to work tonight. So.
Indeed.
So the sooner we're done, the sooner I can go to sleep. Hint.
Yeah.
So, anybody else have anything to throw in there before we go into production and junk?
Nope.
No, but I just like the mermaidology, how they mixed the two together, which is what they were.
They were confused, as I've already pointed out several times to you, that people confused them together, and somehow that became the norm that people like you understood the confusion as to be reality.
The reality is they were the same
The
creature.
reality is they were confused. They're
No,
not the same creature. I just proved it to you many
you didn't
times.
prove anything.
Because you don't read.
Oh, I read just fine. Originally,
Evidently not.
they were like
Evidently
creatures,
not.
but eventually sirens just became the
You read
same
what you want to
creature.
read. You read what you want to read.
In
You don't
Greek
read the-
mythology, the sirens actually flew,
Well,
and
yeah,
they
originally, but then during the medieval
But they're the
ages,
same as
when they
mermaids that don't fly. They're the same thing.
don't make fun of fact with fiction.
I don't think
The fact is they
they're the
got
same thing.
confused. Someone
No, they did not.
like you got
There is no
confused, and
confusion
everyone
in
got confused.
Yo, I do not think that they are the same thing. Okay, in Greek
they're not.
mythology, the sirens flew, and their beautiful and their voices, their voices were like the sirens. Their voices were high and screeching, and they would fly, and the people would and who they were after would cover their ears from their high pitched. That's why they were called sirens.
Eventually, the mythology of sirens eventually merged with what mermaids
They
were.
merged because someone was stupid and didn't know the difference, and then everyone just followed along with it. As I showed to you.
And the mermaids, their beautiful songs. The mermaids'
Just
beautiful
because a
songs.
siren isn't what you originally thought it was.
It is what it originally thought, and I proved it to you.
I just said what a siren
It was not proven that sirens are
It was
mermaids.
proven. You just didn't read it.
I read it just
hell.
fine.
You didn't read it. Your
Yes, I did.
your fiance's telling you the same thing, and you're just
I'm not
listening.
confusing anything, and nobody confused anything with anything.
Dave is right, and Dave
It is
right.
not a fact
I'm
that
Dave, and
people
I'm right.
were confused about.
Doesn't hurt much you prove me wrong. I'm right.
David. The mermaids.
What?
The mermaids lured the sailors with their beautiful songs. Sirens flew and had deafening.
Which is what they
piercing-
originally were. But in the
deafening,
medieval ages, mermaids
In
and
the
sirens
medieval ages, one
became
person depicted
creatures.
them that way, and then other people picked up on it and got confused.
No,
Yes.
because that confusion
Yes.
is not said
Yes.
in history.
I just said the two different things. What aren't you getting?
They're two different things.
I
They're originally two different things. They got merged together because someone was an idiot.
I fact checked with
And I fact
information.
checked and proved you wrong.
No, you did not.
Okay. I didn't prove you wrong.
Nowhere in there did it say that they were confused.
Nowhere in there.
about
Just
it.
every
It
single
merged
article I
into
sent you.
the same
Just every
creature.
single article I sent you.
If you look at any Greek mythology, the sirens flew and they had a deafening, piercing noise.
I sent it to him,
That's what
Sammy.
originally people thought were sirens. But if you look at the history of mermaids,
Yes,
they
the
merged
history.
into
They're two different
the same
creatures.
And the mermaids lured the sailors with their beautiful songs.
Correct. So things that did that sirens did, and things that mermaids did, kind of merged together in history.
Because one person did that, and other people got confused.
They're totally different.
Because people get confused easily, like you.
Spoken about.
And then you die on
it
because you got
I'm saying.
I don't want to keep arguing. I agree with Kroll that they're two totally different things.
You haven't read the facts, dear.
We have read the facts, dear.
No, you haven't read the facts.
I read the facts. You just
I've read the facts.
Where in the facts say that people were confused or confused?
Sammy, aren't they a pair of squabbling squabs?
I even put even sent in the article where it showed they were
It didn't
confused.
say anything about the fact about people being confused.
Jeez.
No, I didn't. Philip, do you want to go and look at it where it says confused? Because I know you can read.
There is no confusion written about in any of the facts that are out there.
You're the one that's confused.
No, I'm not
Exactly.
confused at all.
Very confused.
Tammy, you have to
It's
read
like
the
more
facts.
than this.
You can't read between the lines.
There is no rhymes. People are confused. How can it be facts if you're reading between the lines? You're contradicting yourself.
There was no confusion at all. It was the same creature.
Okay, from Wikipedia, sirens were later often used as a synonym for mermaids and portrayed with upper human bodies and fish tails. But yeah, it says later. This
Exactly. Because they got
which
confused.
means, did you hear the word confuse in there? The word
Yes,
confused is it in there?
I already put it. I already posted it, dude. You just didn't read it.
this
There is
combination became
no confusion in any of the posts that you sent me.
Yes.
The word confusion or confused is not in any of the articles.
I will always think of them as two separate things.
They are.
I will always consider them the same creature. It's just people.
In Greek
seem to
mythology,
think
sirens
that
were half bird, half female creatures.
people seem to
When they
think that the
started to be
Greeks had it
confused
all right.
with mermaids. The last post I put on there says confused. In Greek mythology,
No,
sirens were half bird, half female creatures. When are they started to be confused with mermaids? And then you wrote the problem with myth, blah, 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 blah.
Okay, no, whatever.
no, that
don't want to
was a
keep.
question about whether they were confused.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
doesn't mean
because they are confused.
no.
When did people confuse them?
Somebody else thought that they were confused. They weren't.
Because they
There
are
was
confused.
no confusion.
oh
Guys,
my.
I don't want to argue about this for half an hour. I want to go to sleep.
Seriously.
I see that as a question that someone asked when there was no confusion involved whatsoever.
Oh my.
If we keep arguing about this, I'm just going to leave.
Yeah,
okay. Well, in any case, we are at the end of the film. Did anyone want to go on about their impressions about the production of the film?
I thought the production was great. I thought the effects were good. I thought that their portrayal of the mermaids, how they looked, was good. Um, I liked. I kind of liked that you had all the different agendas of why everybody was going to find the Fountain of Youth. You know, you had like three different stories going on at the same time as to why they were all going there. You know, which is what Disney has done basically in every one of these movies. That there's not just one thing going on. You know, there's more than one thing, which keeps your interest because you see, you're like, okay, this guy's going for this, and this guy's going there for this, and this guy's, it keeps you interested because it's not just focused on one person or one or two people. It's like you got a whole bunch of stuff going on at once. So
Oh yeah, the morally great characters, like you cannot strictly divide them all as heroes and villains.
and of course Jack is Jack. So
Jack's not a hero or villain.
yes. I've never thought of Jack as a hero or a villain. He's kind of like right in the middle. Jack
Jack is Jack.
Jack is for Jack. Yep.
Yeah.
And if he ends up helping you out along the way, that's cool.
What's
If he doesn't,
what's the
oh
thing
well.
that Gibbs and Jack always say together? Uh,
A
he
pirate's
said
life
it.
is for me.
Let's see. Leave him in the end. Take nothing back.
Oh, give
I
him
think that's
nothing
what
to
he's.
take nothing back, isn't it?
Yeah.
Give him nothing to take nothing back, or
Yep.
something like that. And a pirate's life for me. So I thought production was great. Of course, my favorite always is Jack. So as far as scenes, I love the scene on the when him and Barbosa are on the boat there, and they got to keep the boat so it doesn't tip, and they're pushing things this way and that way at each other and kicking this and that, and then they end up in that bed together. I like that scene. I thought that was funny. It was good. And somebody else mentioned too about him going up the tree. You know, going backwards up the tree with the ropes got him and everything, and how he
Yeah,
climbed up
that
the
was
tree
pretty fun.
thing. Yep. So there, I did my production, my favorite scene, my favorite character. Move on.
Okay. What about you, Boris?
Uh, the production was amazing, of course. I especially liked the effects when we saw the mermaids change their forms from beautiful to scary. That was a really cool effect. And of course, everything else was really well done. The fights, the sceneries, the spoodaus, everything. There is I really cannot think of anything that wasn't done well enough. Uh, the music was okay, but I didn't really notice anything outstanding. Mm, And when it comes to favorite scenes and favorite characters, well, of course, it's difficult not to pick Jack as the favorite character, but in this particular movie, I also really liked this romantic subplot between Philip and Serena. I liked Serena quite a bit. And favorite scenes, well, probably the scenes with Serena and of course the final fight when and the way Jack tricked Blackbeard into sacrificing himself to save Angelica. And yeah, I think that's it.
Alrighty. What about you, Ron? What did you like about the production? And
The
what do you
mermaids are
like?
not sirens.
Round
Is the best
three.
part. Is the best part of the production, in my opinion. I mean, the boats all look. Yeah, definitely. You know, Blackbeard's Blackbeard's ship was definitely wicked. Wasn't Blackbeard in other uh pirate movies? Really sounded familiar. I'm pretty sure there was Blackbeard in other movies. Um,
Yeah, he was another pirate that they often portrayed. In fact, I think there was one called Blackbeard that Disney did.
yeah, I thought
Huh.
maybe.
It was
I don't know if Treasure Island had a Blackbeard or not, but definitely
yeah,
remember.
Treasure Island and Blackbeard. I believe Blackbeard was like the sequel to Treasure Island too, at least as
I
far as
mean,
Disney
they had
pirate
it,
movies
but
go.
cool.
And I know there was another version of Blackbeard that another channel did later on. and whatnot. But Blackbeard, if I remember correctly, originally his human name was Edward Teach. At
Oh
least in
yeah,
history.
they mentioned that name in this movie.
But yeah.
And of course, Jack's always my favorite character. I really like the mermaid, and despite the fact that, you know, he's like a minister, I like the minister kid too.
I thought it was interesting that all the mermaids were female as well. So,
Because that's usually how they are.
because,
The men stay back in the kingdom.
but in any case,
Haven't you watched The
is
Little
that
Mermaid?
well? That was a different Disney movie in a different time period. That's for sure. They definitely
And you notice it's
romanticized.
called Little Mermaid, not the Little Siren.
Round 3.
Well, remember they were trying to familicize these movies and romanticize about the undersea creatures and all that jazz.
Yeah, the undersea creatures. Birds don't go under the sea. Or like creatures don't go under the sea.
Greeks didn't have it that great either, so they weren't
You
always
should watch a TV
correct.
show called Xena Warrior Princess.
I did.
There's a lot of sirens in that.
I know.
When she goes to the underworld, to Hades, every time there's always sirens. You got to fight the sirens to save Mark.
I remember people have portrayed sirens differently, but I
Yes, they
believe that
have.
sirens
People like you
merged.
are confused.
Fucking
Sirens
hell.
merged as different creatures over time, and not because the people were confused.
No,
Just different aspects
because
of
a creature
sirens,
flying with
like the
wings
fact that
looks a lot like
they
exactly
all.
like a woman with a tail. Yes, exactly. Like wow, spinning ears. They're identical
It's certainly
twins.
funny how a mermaid can sing the men to the bottom of the sea, which is exactly what sirens could do.
Sam is going to explode with you guys.
Hey, I'm just
But
spouting the truth, dude. He doesn't want to see it.
What was
I'm
that? What
spouting
was
the
that
truth too.
movie? It's an older movie, and with Hercules, and
Clash of the Titans.
yes, and they they land on the one Acropolis or whatever, and they're lured there, and then by the beautiful sirens that are flying around, and then the sirens change their tune, and all the men, their ears are bleeding. They're holding their hands over their ears because of the noise that the sirens that are making that are flying around.
Well, that's what Greek mythology believed. That's not what people believe in the here and now.
Only people that were confused.
The things that mermaids, if you listen, mermaids are and have been able to sing men to the sea and drag them down to the bottom of the
Yes,
sea.
sing them.
Correct.
Not
Which is
not
exactly the same thing a siren could do.
So
Using
they could do the
music
same thing. So they
that
must be the
that
same
they
thing.
could lure
So
men.
James, you and me must
They
be the
could
same
lure.
person because we both can talk.
but the sirens end up deafening the men to where they're holding their hands over their ears because they're flying
That
around
and
and
that is for
singing.
those who believe that that is what a siren
Because that's what
was.
they are.
Oh, come on. Can we finish this up, please?
Yep. Who hasn't gone? I believe I haven't. I thought the production of this movie was definitely amazing, especially when it came to bringing to life the mermaids and the way they are portrayed. And I thought that the sword fighting was awesome. I enjoyed the Queen Anne's Revenge and the comedy of the fact that Jack Sparrow mutineered, thought that Blackbeard wasn't a thing, and all that jazz, and how the fact that he kept looking inside the bottle that the ship was in, and he was like, he got scared because of the monkey. He was like, I really don't like that monkey.
How can he say that about such a cute little monkey?
Yeah.
Remember,
Cute.
they named the monkey. Remember, they named the monkey Jack too.
Yes.
Ah,
Barbosa named the monkey Jack.
And I thought the comradeship between Barboso and Jack was pretty cool. I mean, it seemed like they'd gotten to a point where they were like almost friends, in a sense, So, and the whole fact that he fought King George for a cream puff.
oh yeah, I kind of forgot that. Oh, and
I mean, the cream puff that got stripped from the
when he what's the English word for it? Anyway, when he replaced the judge at the beginning.
That was cool. That was cool.
Yeah.
And of
They're
course,
the same
Gibbs.
person. They're the same person.
Yep. So, but favorite character I would have to say is Jack in here. And Blackbeard, I didn't mind Ian McShane's version of Blackbeard. I mean, he definitely played the part, And I did like the look of the ships and the bottle, and I like that idea that whenever he would sink a ship, he'd stick it in these bottles and keep them for like a memento, of sorts, that kind of went to like his legend, the anyways, and I think that's pretty much it as far as anything goes. Did anyone else have anything else to add?
I don't think so.
Alrighty. Well, hopefully you enjoyed our discussion. We definitely had a lot of food for thought. Hopefully you enjoyed our discussion. And we'll definitely be back next week with, I believe it's my turn now. So I think we'll do Sleepaway Camp.
Oh yeah, nice.
And so on and so forth. So, if you guys can't find it, let me know, and I'll figure out a way to have you guys view it. And let us know down in the comments what you thought of our discussion, whether you think mermaids are in fact the same creatures as sirens, or vice versa, or if they're separate creatures. You never know. People think different things and have believed different things over time. And I personally like to think that the two creatures kind of merged into one eventually over time, even though originally they were different creatures. So, that being said, like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week. here on Delusions of Grandeur. Thank you so much. And everyone say good night.
Good night,
Good
everyone.
night.
Good day. Say good day.